We're back here in Godfall. This is probably the third mission that you can go on. It's in the Earth realm, and I am trying to find the Vargul leader, which are these race of null looking creatures. So I'm gonna have to fight a big baddie. So that's what we're on our way to do. So here we go. Here's a group of unsuspecting evil guys that I can mess up. I like this sword because every time you activate bleed with it, it releases 2 spheres that randomly find enemies, and it deals a lot of damage. See, whenever you inflict bleed, shoot up to 2 projectiles that each deal 154 physical damage to an enemy. So that's been helping me out like crazy. I can clear mobs pretty quick with this sword. So let's see how it works.
A powerful creature has emerged.
The ghosts of this place are restless.
It draws power from the spirit realm.
It will fall like the rest.
So I didn't cause the bleed ailment at all during that fight, but still I barely lost any health, and it's a very mobile weapon. So I think I like the longsword. My secondary is a hammer, which is good for big groups of enemies because it does AoE, or it's area of effect, and that's one of my favorite types of builds to create. Ooh, that's a new move. I must unlock that at some point. Let's try that again. Oh, it changed it up that time. That's weird. Okay, but yeah, hammer and longsword are my go-to combination here. As it gets later in the game, I'll probably look to people that have maybe beaten the game already and see what kind of builds they use. But so far, I recommend longsword and hammer. It's not letting me down. All right, let's continue the mission. It's always worth it to break items you see, especially if you're low on health, because sometimes they do drop health orbs. But you'll get also currency, and you'll build up your Archon meter, which is how you do your ultimate move. And this guy's ultimate move is it releases a wave that inflicts bleed on the targets, and you do increased damage to enemies that are bleeding. So basically, it's a way, like if you're in a deep spot, you just fire off your Fury ability, and you can pretty much survive, and as well as do major amounts of damage. Now, you don't have to go after the main objective. I'm just interested to see what this guy's like. But these maps are created so that you can just explore and find like different chests hidden in different places, and you can explore this entire map without ever doing the main quest. You can save it for last if you want, which is what I usually do, but for the sake of this video, I want to show you guys a boss battle. And that should do it for the boss. There we go. And he drops some pretty good loot too.
The treasure is in that squat building. I wonder what we'll find.
Alright, let's see what we got. We got a Hinterfang, which is a new weapon. That's the first time I got that one. And I already have some Dusk Blades, which I have broke down into raw material. So, Hinterfang, let's check it out. Alright. Gain 1% Fury Charge whenever you defeat an enemy with a takedown. That's how you saw me defeat the boss right there. That was a takedown. Every time you stun an enemy, you have a chance to do a really powerful kind of coup de grace type move while they're on the ground. Let's see, I had this. I'm at the point in the game where every green weapon I'm just salvaging for resources. I only keep blues, purples, and golds. And you can upgrade the weapons too. Oh, that's new. Stinger. 18% chance to inflict bleed. Oh! Alright, I think I'm going to level that one up. Nice. Because this this suit of armor that I'm using, his special ability is bleed. Like, that's really what he works on. He's got an 18% chance to do bleed, and that's just a combination of the items I gave him. But here, you when you activate your Fury, you summon 3 Sentinels to fight with you. You get a 90% chance to inflict bleed, and that'll stack on top of my 18%, so I have a 108% chance. So I'm absolutely inflicting bleed, and then I do twice as much damage to bleeding enemies. And I really like this. This is my favorite shell, I guess you could call it, so far. Yeah, it's going to take a while to unlock all the suits of armor too, because you have to get enough resources to build them one at a time. And, well, if you have enough, I guess you can build 2 at a time. But there's some suits that I won't even unlock unless I have to, because their abilities don't interest me. But there's like 4 or 5 that I'll probably use. I think there's a dozen altogether, which is a pretty good selection. I was under the impression that Godfall had customizable everything, but it turns out the armor is not customizable. The weapons and all your equipment is, but yeah, the way this guy looks is the way this guy looks. I can't do anything about it. Hooah! Alright, that is a lot of loot. I like it.
Fascinating. There are fragments of your brother's war journal here.
He never missed a chance to revel in his glory.
We might be able to learn something about Macros. I'll store these in my archive. We're done here. Let's head to the Twilight Beacon.
Yeah, if you watched my very first James Do Plays Godfall tutorial video, you'll see that Macros is your brother, and he betrayed you, and he's pretty much the main bad guy in the game. He'll be the last person you fight, but you have to beat his, I guess, lieutenants. And there's like 4 or 5 lieutenants you gotta kill before you get to him. Alright, let's see what I just picked up. That was a lot of loot. Oh, Blind Justice, I've had it. I've had the Prickle. That was a funny name. Ooh, Faithful. This is the first time I got the Faithful. 5% to apply Mark of Fragility whenever you hit an enemy. Ooh, that just makes them easier to kill, so that's a good one to level up. Let's see. I really don't understand polarity yet. That's something I gotta research. 5% polarity attack charge speed. Polarity attack. Yeah, I don't really know what that is right now. Shoku. That's the first time I got Shoku as well. 20% northern technique. Oh, damn. Yeah. If you hold left trigger and hit the right shoulder button, you'll do your northern technique. If you hold left trigger and hit the right trigger, you'll do a southern technique, which is just this really cool ultimate ability that you can do with any weapon in the game once you build up enough of a charge for it. 5% weapon technique charge speed. Okay, so I'll get to do techniques even faster with that one. That's cool. I'm getting some good stuff here. Let's see, life stones. So the one I have now, I leveled up to epic. So it gives me 95 health recovery, 43 breach damage. Every once in a while you'll see enemies that are glowing blue, and those are breach enemies. That's kind of like their armor. You have to get through their armor before you can do damage to them. So this just increases that damage so I can kill them faster. So you do your light attack to do breach damage, and then you do your heavy attack to do physical damage. So 16% shield damage. Yeah, you can throw your shield and it'll knock some enemies down, not all of them. But if you knock them down, you can do your coup de grace attack, or you can just do extra damage with your shield if you're aching for a distance attack. Since this game is all melee, there's no ranged, but you do go against ranged enemies, so that's kind of unfair. But I'm still digging the game. It doesn't really bother me. Let's see. Vitriolic Craven Stone. Alright, 98 health recovery, that's good. 45% physical damage. I'm a big fan of physical damage and bleeding. So yeah, that might be my new life stone. Secondary effect. 7% dual blades. Oh, I have dual blades. I think they were green though. I think I salvaged them. But when you see this 10 seconds here, you can use your life stone by pressing what button is it? X on the Xbox controller, square on the PlayStation controller, and that's like a heal. And every time you use the heal for 10 seconds, you'll get 45% increased physical damage, and for 10 seconds you'll get 7% increased dual blades damage. So there's many different ways to build your dude. I'm just going to ignore the dual blades. I don't really use them, but I do like that increased damage and the 98 health recovery. So that's a good one. I'll probably level that one up to legendary. Right. Skills are pretty cool. You can play around with different builds. You can always reset your points and allocate them in different ways. I was going more for a strength build with this guy, so I'm going to max out might. That's kind of like your strength. I'm going to max out rampage, which lets you deal more strength. It's kind of like a berserker mode. And I kind of like finesse, which gives you a better dodge ability, because lots of times parrying won't work, especially when enemies are doing heavy attacks that are red, because you can't block red. You have to get out of the way. So yeah, I'm gonna work on dodge, berserk, and strength. So this is just gonna be kind of my barbarian character here. Yeah, let's give him a little more rampage right now. Rampage Jackson. There we go. Alright. Check that out. If I'm going against a large group of enemies, it says land multiple weapon hits in a short period of time to enter rampage. You deal 20% more damage, and you lose rampage if you don't hit an enemy within 10 seconds. So as long as I have people to hit, I'm going to do 20% more damage. So I really like rampage.
Sanctum. How complete are your archives?
Not very. Once Macros locked me away, I stopped getting new records altogether.
Now, it said mission complete, but I have the option to activate this beacon, and when I do, it'll spawn new chests and events that I can go and just do a little bit of extra grinding, whether I need experience or maybe try to get some items to fill a weak slot, you know, like maybe an amulet or a ring. So I'll do one just so you can see what it's like, because you'll enter I forget what they call this mode, right here, but if you press left on the controller on the D-pad, you'll go and it'll like highlight things with color, and those are like chests, hidden chests and hidden events, and that you can only see when you're in this mode, so it's pretty cool. Every once in a while you'll see these floating green things, and usually there's no way to get up to them. The only way to get them is to throw your shield at it. So I'm going to hit block and then heavy attack, which throws your shield. So while you're blocking, if you hit the right trigger, it'll throw your shield at those markers, and it'll just get you resources to upgrade your equipment. 10 Sunsteel. See that beacon right there? That's the first event. There's 3 that I have to find across the entire map, so there's a little bit of exploring involved, but I don't mind. I'm a big explorer in these kind of games. So you'll see me switch in and out to this mode a lot. I'm just looking for colors, you know, beams of light that I can go investigate. Alright, I'm gonna stop talking and finish this and end the video once I find all 3 hidden objects. Gotta bring out the big guns for shields, so I'm gonna use my hammer. And that's how you take care of the shield guys. Hammer does come in handy. Alright, this is a new one. This one over here is the one I was going for. I must have took a wrong turn somewhere, but since I'm out here, I'm gonna do it. These statues you can only see in this mode, they're gonna come to life, and I have to beat them. So I'm just gonna run up there, stay in this mode, see what kind of weapons they have, and plan out whether I'm gonna use the sword or the hammer, and on what enemy. Look for shields and what type of weapons they use and whatnot. First I'm gonna kill these live guys over here. I don't want them joining the battle and making it harder for me. Although that would be a good opportunity to show you my Archon ability. Decisions. It looks like they're all two-handed sword users, so I could probably get through this with the longsword. If any of them had shields, I'd use the hammer. Wow, I seriously thought I was going to aggro those guys over there. But I didn't, which is cool. Ooh, even though it's green, that ring I just got, it's a new ring, so I am curious to that one here. Let's see. It's cool too, it's got like wings. 7% chance to inflict shock. I won't salvage that one just yet. 45% fire damage, Archon Fury damage. The hacker. Oh, that's new. Gain the blessing of luck whenever you inflict bleed. Luck. Well, I think I'll level that one up. Because again, it's the bleed ailment, and I do inflict that quite a lot on enemies that can bleed. Obviously, it's not going to work on constructs. Mechanical enemies. 60% weapon damage. Yeah, that's one I'll look to level up in the near future here. Alright, let me get my hammer out and go take out those baddies that are conveniently all clustered on that platform. Clustered right over there on that platform. Should be pretty quick work with my hammer. We'll see. I talk a big game. Let's see if I can walk it. Alright, I found the final 2 objectives. One's there and one's up there. Just gotta figure out how to reach them. And I noticed down in the left corner, below the big symbol, that's a circle, that's your shield charge, but right down to the right of that, where it says 2, that's how many healing charges you have. So 3 is your max. So I'm just going to break objects until I find a 3rd healing orb, and that will fill it up to 3. Hey, and there it was. I had a blonde moment there for a second. The hammer is definitely best for breaking objects because it does the AoE. The sword just takes way too long. Oh, it's underneath me. Alright, so now I gotta find some stairs. And I need to rebuild my healing charges. Only one healing charge in the bunch. That was disappointing. Okay, this is interesting. That right there is a treasure crab. If you happen to kill it, which it has a hell of a huge health bar, but if you kill it, it's like the treasure goblins in Diablo. It'll just drop a bunch of loot for you, but it takes a while. So let's go ahead and do this. It is one of the objectives. So. Booyah! And there's all the loot. It's usually pretty good stuff too. Ooh, right there, perfect. That's an epic weapon. Let's check it out. Let's see. 9% weapon technique charge when you soul shatter an enemy. 5% chance to ignite. Still don't know what polarity attack. By the time I do my next video, I'm going to figure out what polarity attack means for you guys, I promise.
You take on too much.
Hey, my first death. Whew, almost every attack that guy does is red. So that means it's unblockable. And I just get caught trying to block every time. If you miss, you gotta wait for your shield to recharge. This is the only reason I like using the keyboard and mouse, but for most of the game I prefer the controller. If this was ranged and not melee, I would definitely use the mouse, for sure. Alright, now it's just messing with me. Alright, forget that. I need to get to the third objective. Alright, I've done these ones before. You have to hammer these things into the ground. Heavy attacks work with any weapon. Blue ones take one hit. You have to hammer the green ones twice. And you gotta do it in a certain amount of time. It's not long either, it's like 15, 20 seconds. I can't remember. So that's the sword attempt. Now let me do the smarter way, which is the hammer. Alright, let me recharge, because for some reason some of those attacks missed, and I have no idea why. And there we have it. Ooh, another epic weapon. Nice. Well, it could be equipment. It's not always a weapon. I just want to point that out. Sweet, we had an amulet, an augment, and a life stone. Ooh, 119 health recovery. I'm liking that one. And earth damage, that's good. Fury damage, good too. Yeah, so I said, what did I say? This is going to be my new life stone. The dual blades is really steering me away from it, so I think the radiant pearl is going to be my new life stone. Let's check out the amulets. Nah, I'll probably just salvage that right now. And augments are the only thing that they're hard to explain. Alright, so here's your augment page. And right now you have a augment power usage of 24. Each augment has a drain. that will drain on that 24, and you can't go over it. So you have to be really smart if you want to use all of your augment slots, or hey, you could just use a few of them. I don't know if it matters at this point because I just started playing a couple days ago, but I did get a really good augment just now that I'm probably going to replace this one with. So it extends my duration of Fury by 1 second whenever I defeat an enemy. Oh, so for every enemy defeated, extended by 1 second. But man, it drains 15 of that 24. And it's only my first augment, so that's... you gotta balance it however you want. So this is gonna use most of it, but is it worth it? Is it worth it? For now, I think I'll stick with the one I have, because every time I parry, I gain 76 health. Well, over health. It's like a shield. Yeah, I'll keep that one. Definitely throw this one in later, though. Alright, that's it for this session, guys. Thanks for watching James Do Plays Games again, and I will see you next time.